Hey y'all, this is Rick with Get Out and Fish, here for another video, and today we're going to be talking about a problem I see with particularly new open pourers. It's a question I see all over Facebook. I get asked all the time in the comments and in Messenger, but swim bait dents, open pour swim bait dents, what causes those things and what can we do to get rid of them? That's what we're going to do today, so stick around. Alright, y'all, we are back. And you notice I got a cup here filled up with some plastisol. I'm using Dead On Plastics Craw Tube Blend. And I have it right at the 3/4 line. That's going to be important after I heat this up because I'm going to show you something. But we have it right at the 3/4 mark. We're going to get this heated up, and we're going to do a first pour just to show you an extreme. We're going to get this up to 350 to get it activated, to get the plastisol and resin activated, and then we're going to heat it up to about 375, and then we're going to pour it and see how that turns out. So I'm going to leave it on camera so you know this is the same cup. Put it in the microwave, and we'll get it heated up. Alright, y'all. We got the plastic is heated and the plastisol and resin has been activated, but I want you to notice right off the bat, look where the line is now. I put it in at just at the 3/4 mark, and the line's now kind of in between a full cup and 3/4. So what's happening is you put the cup of plastisol in the microwave, and you're pumping energy into it, and those molecules are getting excited, right? We know whenever stuff gets hot, it expands most of the time. Whenever it cools down, it contracts. So that's what's going on here, and that's a big source of the denting, is the heat. You don't want to be pouring it when it's way too hot. So this plastic's ready to go. I'm going to vacuum it and color it up so we can get some, so we can see the lines denting and everything, and we'll be right back. Alright, y'all, we are back. I got the plastic here colored up, and it's reheated, and we are getting readings of, let's see here, 370. So that's pretty hot. You would never typically want to pour that with temperature that hot. So what I'm going to do here is to show you the extreme. I got a regular mold here clamped up, and I'm just going to pour this really hot plastic, 370, into this mold, and let's see what happens. Alright, I think it's cooled off enough. Let's go ahead and take her apart. But before I even take it apart, just look at that canyon right down the middle of that. I would never expect anyone to actually pour a bait like this, but I've seen pictures with people asking for help on some of the groups, and I can only imagine that this is what they did. This is the extreme. I could have vacuumed that plastic a little more, but it's alright, just for example. But look at that canyon. So I poured it into a mold, and it was 370 degrees, I think it was, whenever I poured this. And that's just, ooh, that's bad. So what do you think we can do to make it flat? Make it a nice clean pour? So I'm going to get another mold and some other plastic ready to go, and I'll show you what I think will solve that problem. Alright, so we are back, and so I got another mold ready to go. It's up here. It's been sitting on the hot plate for a little while. I set it just past 260 on my unit. I don't know what degree would work best for you all, but that's what works for me. Right between 250 and 300. And it's so hot it will burn off liquid immediately. It'll evaporate. So that's how hot this is. I have fresh mold. I'm just gonna use some old pucks that I have. I'm gonna do a three-tone swim bait with a belly of like a vein and a top color. And I'm gonna tell you on that last one, when we poured it a solid color on that mold without heat, we had a few things working against us. So I poured it way too hot. So obviously it's hot, it's going to sit in the mold, it's going to cool, it's going to come down and contract on itself. Also, we had a solid color bait. So instead of pouring a layer, letting it set up, pouring another layer, letting it set up, and then pouring a final layer, we had all that whole mold's worth of plastic contracting on itself. At least whenever you do the 3-part, you're going to have a belly, it's going to set up. So now there's less plastic to contract on itself. I'm going to have another color, and then whenever I do the final color on the top, there's so much less plastic to contract, to suck in on itself. So that was what we had going against us over there. Here, we have 3 colors. I'm going to pour it not as hot. This one, let's see where this one's at. This is going to be the belly color. It's about, well, 303. That's fine. I got this nice and hot, so this first color is going to lay out really nice whenever I pour it. And I like to pour, usually I have a shad dot on there giving me kind of a reference, just below the eyeball, right where the belly will touch the eye. Alright, that ought to do it. So that's the first layer of plastic, and that's going to be able to set up in there, and once it sets up, it's set up. It's not going to, no matter how cold this mold gets or whatever, it's done contracting, okay? So let me go get the other color ready, and I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, we are back. I'm going to move this closer so you can see. So I got the vein color here, and I just measured it at about 338. And for the vein color, I like to pour it a little hotter, just so, because it's going to be a nice little even line. So I really want it to flow. And stop it right behind those eyes. Extend it on past the belly color. And it's going to go in front of the eyes. It's alright, this is just for an example anyway, it's not for customers. But there's a reason I poured that vein a little hotter than the belly, and probably hotter than I'll pour the top too. So you see, once this sets up, there's going to be so much less room for plastic, now that it's a three color bait, that it'll have, even if I do pour it too hot on top, it's not going to contract in on itself a lot. You may see a little curvature there, but I'm going to pour it so cold on the top that hopefully we don't hardly see a indentation at all. And that's the goal, right? So let me get the top color heated up, and we'll finish this up. Alright, y'all, we were back for the last color, for the top color. And like I said, these are just leftover pucks of plastic I had, so the color scheme may or may not look good. My pour already messed it up. Like I said, this is just an example. I'm not selling this bait, so no one's gonna pay for a dud. But I got this last color ready, and it is in the 320, about 320 right now. And I'm gonna pour it good and slow, and I'm gonna let gravity do most of the work. I might shift around back and forth a little bit, but for the most part, I just want this cooler plastic to settle wherever it may on this mold, on the other layers. So let's get on it. Should be kind of syrupy. This is really syrupy. And there we go. It's a good straight pour, maybe a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to let this cool off, and we'll check it out whenever it's done and make sure we don't have a big cavern going down the spine of this swim bait. So we'll be back in about an hour. Okay, y'all, so while I was filming this video, I totally forgot that the last time I made a video, I promised to give a prize away, which was that mega swim bait. And they had to say in the comment, they had to leave a comment saying, "I want that bait." And a few people asked for it, and in the comments, so I'm gonna pick a winner now. Remember, it has to say, "I want that bait." It's not just any random comment. So let's see if I can find one. I want that bait. New Hope Fishing Lures. If you get a hold of me in the comments, or if you're friends with me on Facebook, get at me and let me know that you won, and I'll get your address and I'll send it right out to you. Easy peasy. Cool? Alright, let's get back to the video. Alright, y'all, we are back. It's kind of cooled off. It's still pretty hot, but I really wanted to get this done. So you can see that it's still kind of sunk in on itself a little bit, but you can definitely tell that was a lot better than our first try, right? I probably could have went a little cooler with the top layer, but you know, sometimes that still happens. You can never completely get rid of it. You can only minimize it. So I would probably suggest to myself, next time go a little cooler whenever I pour that top layer. But anyway, let's take the bait out and see how it turned out. It never wants to come out right. There we go. Not bad. All the layers are melted together. I poured that vein too much because I'm on camera. It's a lot harder to pour on camera. I overextended that vein. I don't like it whenever you can see all the way to the front. It just, ugh. It looks, in my opinion, that looks horrible. But we can see we got a pretty flat back there. It definitely is an improvement upon our first pour, which I did on purpose because I knew it would just come down like that. So yeah, the cooler you can pour that top layer, the better. And if you're going to do a solid color, do it in stages. Pour the belly and get it up high, let that set up, and then let the plastic cool and pour the top layer. Get it around 320, indicated by some kind of a measuring device. But yeah, that's the secret to it, is pour colder. We use the heat on the mold only to melt these layers together so that it doesn't delaminate. You know, when you're casting this out, you don't want it to come apart. That's why we like heat with our mold. It has nothing to do with this, with the curvature on the back, the dents. The cooler the plastic, the better for the dents, and let the heat of the mold melt everything together. Alright, so if you have any questions, please get at me in the comments, message me on Facebook, whatever you want to do. And yeah, that's what I got for you today. Hope it helps. Hope you guys get some better outcomes with your pours. If this video did help you out, please give me a like, and if you're not already, just hit subscribe. So until next time, tight lines.